Hey everyone, in this video I will be talking about this new book that was released by Guillebeau, Side Hustle. Again, with any of my book reviews so far, I've not been paid to promote them or anything like that. These are just very interesting books. Now I want to make sure you know that when I am doing these book reviews on my YouTube channel, a lot of the times I'm reading a ton of books and filtering them down, and only a few make it to this YouTube channel because of a lot of factors. But some of the main ones include the fact that I just don't feel compelled that they were extremely amazing books, or at least books worthy of discussing. Now, I'm not saying that this is like some exceptional book, but I do think that this book is worth discussing, and it really covers a topic I think a lot of millennials are really interested in right now. How do I know this? Well, of course, I see it all the time. I'm on YouTube, I'm on social media, and I see what people are interested in. A lot of them are interested in earning a lot more money. Maybe a little to start out and slowly grow that into a lot of money. Many of them are looking to get into some form of online business or online side hustle. And the word side hustle has definitely picked up steam in the last couple years, especially from people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who have propelled it on. Guillebeau is a world famous blogger, and he's the author of $100 Startup, and is a world traveler and travel blogger. This book is one of his many ways of giving back and helping his community with one of their biggest problems, which is starting and achieving a profitable side hustle. Now, I think what's interesting and awesome about this book is that it is something that's specifically tailored to the art and craft of side hustling, which is different from something like starting an online business or freelancing in a sense. I mean, freelancing kind of falls into this place, but it's different from the employee mindset. And he really brought this to my attention in the beginning by addressing this point in the book. At the beginning, he really defines a side hustle and lists the benefits to it. And the unique benefit of a side hustle is that it's easy to start, it's tangible, you can see the results fairly quickly, you can grow it on the side, and it's flexible enough to quit or lessen the workload of or increase whenever you want to. So it has that flexibility in it and that growth potential for you to ever transition into it if you want to. And so this is an interesting topic. This book has been heavily promoted for a while by Guillebeau. He's been going on blogs and podcasts all the time to talk about it, just as many other successful people who have recently released books tend to do. Lewis Howes did the same thing with his recent release of the book The Mask of Masculinity. Now with this book, I think it definitely expands your eyes in terms of the possibilities out there. The $100 Startup did it as well, but I felt that that book was too much of a case study type book. It was more of like a listicle case study where it didn't really like go into practical steps as much as wanted. It was just a giant list of real life case studies of random people who started a business or freelancing service of some sort with $100 or less, which was kind of cool. But it was I don't know, I felt like they could have dived deeper into the details of each one, or made it more actionable focus rather than just like they did this and here's the 100-word summary of what they did. It's not enough details to really dive in and emulate them. This book is of course different. If you just look at the table of contents, it's broken out like a actual course. So the table of contents is broken out into different weeks. Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, and so on. There's 5 weeks in total for you to go from, as the subtitle says, from idea to income in 27 days. Now, are we skeptical of this? Perhaps. We hear that all the time. In 30 days you can make $1 million or something like that. But I like to think that not every book is BS. There is certain gold nuggets in the piles of crap online, and I think that it may be worth putting some faith into this. Maybe it doesn't take you 27 days. Maybe it takes you 189 days or 64 days to get to that level you want to get to. 64 days for you to get to a side income. But hey, $100 a month is better than zero a month. $1,000 a month is better than zero a month. So, just think about it that way. Like, any extra money in your pocket can't hurt, right? Like, you could buy an extra cardigan sweater. You can buy that new pair of shoes you were looking for, that new camera, whatever it is you want. With that money, you can invest it, and so on and so forth. So I think what's really impactful about this book is that although it does cover a lot of online side hustles, it isn't just focused on digital. And that's one thing I love about this book. It is modern, so there are plenty of digital examples of side hustles that were successful. And that's really important because we live in a digital age, and even the $100 startup didn't really get into the digital space as much as possible. Yet, this age is completely disrupting old industries, multi-billion-dollar industries, and therefore, it's important that we have new information to tackle and leverage this new world. If you look at Toys R Us, it's bankrupt. It sold toys in person, but now Amazon sells them online and ships them to you, and they're screwed. So it's a very interesting concept, and what I think I really like and dislike about this book is that this book is something. Let's start with the what I dislike and think could be slightly better. No. We'll start with what I like. Let's keep it positive. So, some of my email newsletter subscribers have been writing in, and they've been telling me what they're struggling with, what they're trying to do, and one of the common themes I'm seeing is that they're young, maybe they're in school or they're about fresh out of school, and they're juggling a few things. They're trying a Shopify store, they're trying some type of digital affiliate marketing, and they don't know what's going to work. They want some guidance, and they don't know who to trust out there. There's so many gurus. And so this seems to be a common problem, this urge to earn more money online in some area or other, whether it's drop shipping or fulfillment by Amazon. They don't know what they're doing, and they want to start a side hustle. I think this book will help you break that down. It doesn't just kind of like say what to, like, oh, you should come up with ideas and pick one and go for it. It actually really goes into depth about a few subtopics and sub areas that are and should be covered, but aren't necessarily fully accounted for usually. Certain factors that aren't mentioned. What do I mean by this? Well, let's look at the title of week 2's section. Select your best idea. In this section, Chris goes into a bunch of things that most people would have never considered when deciding which side hustle to go with. There's certain criteria that you should look for, such as, okay, what is your goal with a side hustle? Because goals are different. Some people never want to quit their full-time job. They like their full-time job. And the side hustle is mainly something that they could turn on and off like a faucet and increase the workload to a large amount or moderate amount or small amount, depending on what stage of life and how they're feeling during the year. Maybe in the first half of the year, they really want to go all out and make some extra money for their kids' college tuition. But then eventually they turn it off because now they've hit that threshold, they've hit that goal, and they want to resume and go back to their old job. And then whenever they want something slightly new, maybe a new shirt, a new t-shirt, they turn it on, but there's no real strong motivation to make millions of dollars or transition into an online business or start your own business. There's of course other side hustlers who are the opposite. Their focus is on escaping the nightmare of the 9-to-5 job that they do have, or sometimes it's a night shift job that's even not 9 to 5, and on the side they're doing everything they can outside of work hours to kind of transition into their own freedom-based business or whatever else. So based off these different goals, you would tend to want to assess side hustles differently. He also has this section of the book which really crystallizes the difference between a side hustle and something that's you think is a side hustle but is something you'll never get to. It's just some vision of the future that's will always remain in your mind and you'll never take action on it. And some of these criteria include something that is specific and definable and easily describable to other people, something that you can quickly see results from immediately or shortly after once you start doing it, and something that has a very short ramp-up phase. I think that's something he stresses throughout the book, which is that a true side hustle has a very short amount of time and capital needed to ramp up. So you don't need a lot of money or any money sometimes to get started with the side hustle. Maybe it's mowing the grass, maybe it's search engine optimization services, graphic design services, but you need a little money to get started. Maybe it's a YouTube channel, and from there you simply improve the side hustle and get it going within a day or two. He says if it's going to take half a year or a full year and $10,000 to get started, that's not a side hustle. So you want to look out for these things because they will turn into excuses to procrastinate indefinitely, forever, from even starting. I think I kind of want to wrap up with